Now, of course, with just addition, this is kind of a silly example. In practice, you wouldn't write a function just to add two numbers, just as you wouldn't have a coworker whose sole job is to add two numbers. This has been a simple example, but you might be able to generalize it out to more authentic applications pretty easily. So for example, most mid-sized companies have a public relations person that handles press releases. When someone at the company has something they need to announce, they call the PR person and give them the information to announce. So let's call our PR person Riley. Riley is a function. Her parameter would be the information to announce, and her function body would be the steps to announce it. Calling Riley is calling the function, and providing the information is passing in the argument. This is also a good example of a time when a function might not return anything, might not have any output. Riley's job isn't to tell the coworker anything, but rather it's to announce something out to the world. Either way though, this should make it more clear why there is value in encapsulating this job within a particular person or function, and what it means to say that you, when you're calling a function, don't really care how it works, just that it works. We can also think of an example of a job that needs no input. For example, imagine you were working in a retail store. A common question in a store like that is, what were today's sales? A company might have a single person whose job it is to tally that when needed. Let's call him Terry. Terry would be the function, and Terry's function body would be the steps necessary to tally the sales. But there aren't any parameters here. Terry just automatically has access to the day's sales numbers. Asking Terry for the day's sales numbers would be calling the function, but there would be no arguments to pass in. Terry does return a value though, the day's sales. There might also be jobs that require no input and return no value. For example, Lola's job might be to lock up at the end of the day. No input might be needed and no information is returned, but a function is still performed. Now we've spent a very long time now just talking about functions in abstract terms. That's because functions are not just another control structure. They're an entire paradigm of programming. They're a different way to think about structuring the code that we write. So it's important to understand not just the syntax, but also the philosophy behind functional programming.